Hi, I'm João Lima, editor of The Economy, and here with me I've got Wim Los, Senior Vice President of Technology and Transformation Services at Atos. Wim, thanks a lot for talking to me. Your job title is all about digitalisation.
Yep.
How do you define the digitalisation of the data center?
So the digitalization of the data center is basically connecting everything into the public cloud. Right? We work a lot with customers who want to have their legacy estate, the environment that they have today, connected into Amazon, Google, Microsoft, what have you. And that connectivity layer needs to be established not only for new applications, because that's relatively easy, but also for the old legacy stuff or the heritage stuff. And that's what we do with working with customers, trying to phase that project and make that happen over time.
And how do you compare the hardship of connecting the new applications and the legacy applications?
Nou, kijk, the new applications, of course, were built to utilize cloud, so they do auto-scaling, geo-distribution, all sorts of fancy, cloudy things that you would expect from them.
So it's cloud native.
Cloud native, but the old stuff, what do you do with it when there's no reason to replace the application or to rebuild the application on a completely new foundation? Sometimes the business case is more there to make sure it starts utilizing cloud resources, cloud infrastructure. And that is something that's doable, very much doable, but you need to add the right tooling to it. So you need to give the application a sort of abstraction layer that allows it to start using multiple platforms. And that's what we do there. Yep.
And then what sort of hardships are there with the legacy ones? So what's the hardest thing about cloudifying the legacy applications?
So the main issue that we have is in creating multi-tenancy for applications to be stateless and to be cross data center in multiple areas at the same time without breaking. That's the thing that we do that we find the toughest.
Have you seen a lot of customers over cloud provision, having a lot of cloud services or over provisioning clouds, buying way too much cloud services?
Almost all of them do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's an issue then?
That's an issue that we can save a lot of cost with if we do it smarter for them. We can work with customers to create a more optimized environment for them, for sure.
How do you figure out the right amount of clouds? I know this is a very general topic, general term when you say the right amount of cloud, but how do you get to that amount, certain amount, where you don't overspend, but you also buy enough to make sure things work?
Measurement, right? We measure a lot on the utilization of the applications, and then with that we work a lot on optimizing it. Typically what customers do is they move their old VMs into the cloud, but these VMs in the first place were over provisions when we started it. So scraping that off, making them fit closer into smaller containers, and then distributing containers over platforms is typically an answer to the question.
So you mentioned containers, so you're seeing a huge adoption around containerization of applications.
Yeah, for sure.
What is Atos doing in terms of containers? Because this is a huge topic right now, and there's a lot of confusion as well. So maybe start by explaining what containers are, and then we can go into what Atos is doing.
In order to get it, to understand it quickly, I think you need to compare the old situation where we basically virtualized complete servers and then started running multiple servers on one physical server. This is one level up. So with containerization, what we do is we give the application itself a much tighter, much better organized, and much smoother way of running on an abstraction layer. That's no longer a hypervisor, but now is a PaaS service. We do this with products like Cloud Foundry, Aprenda. Aprenda is a good solution for that. We do a lot of OpenShift as well. And what it basically does, it enables the application to run as if it was still on a server, but now the management and control of the box where it's in is much better. And that also allows us to do quick copies, to do snapshots, to do multi-instance. That's basically what gives us a lot of the advantage in also optimizing the physical resources that it consumes.
Okay. And the container space is full of young people, full of millennials, developers, coders, all those sort of people. And you work with the Cloud Foundry, so Cloud Foundry has thousands and thousands of developers, all millennials and Generation Z as well. How is Atos taking advantage of the younger generation? Taking advantage in a good way, sorry, I don't even mean in a bad way, but taking advantage of the young generation to build the new data center?
I would say it's our biggest challenge. Like a lot of the people that we have are used to work with the older technologies. They were rock stars in 2005, and that's something that needs to change now. So we invest a lot in training our own people, making sure people get up to speed. And what helps is we insert younger people, younger profiles into those teams. And where I see success, it's typically in the situation where you have a couple of gray hair guys working with a few young guys, and they combine it at the level of being equal, right? So they are open for each other's ideas. It's much more a cultural thing, I would say, than anything else.
But do you see a generational problem that we actually going to have to wait for the older guys to move out, or we don't need to get to that stage? We can balance things out.
I would say we should be able to balance it out, and it works for the guys that want to be in there. So that people that are operating systems are not stupid by definition, right? So they also see these new technologies. The problem, of course, is if you've done system management or application administration for 20 years in a certain way, it's tough to change. So, and that's what we need to force. And sometimes it needs a compelling event. So sometimes it needs the push of this application will now stop, or we really will go into Amazon now, or something else will happen. And then typically what we see is, I would say 8 out of 10 do well. Yeah.
Okay. And then regarding Atos, what can we expect in the next year or so?
So we made a big play out of what we call digital hybrid cloud. For us, it's one of the 4 cornerstones of our strategy worldwide.
Okay. The other 3 being?
The other 3 are SAP HANA is a big investment area, digital workplace, connecting the workplace of the future into the public cloud, and the 4th one is Codex, our big data analytics platform.
Okay. And then, but what are you preparing for the next year or so?
Yeah, so the investments that we are setting up at the moment are very much structured in helping our customers today, but also do the design with them for the future state of technology. So how can we not only serve you today, but how can we still be with you in 3 or 4 years from now? Which does require a lot of investment on our side. And on those 4 topics, we're ready to go to deep ends with customers in order to make sure that we can really work with them also in 2020.
Okay, Wim, thanks a lot for talking to me.
Okay.
Don't forget you can follow Data Economy on Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn, and also visit the website on www.data-economy.com.